Guys, welcome to another 10 minutes of training. These are just tips, some information that will be able to help you grow your business and be able to share the information. So today's training is on, what to say. How people often talk to me and they say, "Hey, Eric, I don't know what to say. I've got this person, and can you talk to them?" And so what I want to give to you today is the information on how to talk to people and what do you say and things like that. Because often people say, "Well, what are you saying to sign people up?" It's like there's some magical thing. Well, here's the deal. Everybody's different. And the relationships that you have with different individuals is different from person to person. And having me or somebody else necessarily talk to them is not necessarily the magic bullet. Sometimes people think, well, hey, if I can get Eric on, or if I can get Trisha on, or if I can get one of these leaders that are making the money, that have already been successful, that's the magic, that's the secret. But in reality, the relationship that you have with that individual is the magic. Okay, in that relationship, it might be one that you've had maybe a lifelong friend, or maybe somebody that you've just met recently. But to be able to talk to that person on the level that you know them, that's the magic. And to be real, there's not some canned speech. People like, "Hey, can you write me down a script?" Guys, there is not. If I was to do that, if I was to have a script and you were to follow that, what would happen is when you would talk to the individual, a friend or business acquaintance or whoever that you're talking to, it would come off as very, very fake. And so what I want to do is just give you some outlines of the topics to say, because that's the magic is, again, just talking to them personally, like a real individual. As a matter of fact, my wife just recently had somebody call her, and we get these quite often. People will call us, and it's nice to actually see people do this, because I would imagine that we're probably on the chicken list for some people. And so my wife got this call, and it was just a lady that she had met just briefly. And this lady, we had literally met probably 10 years ago. So it's not like my wife had this big relationship with her or anything like this, but the lady just called and said, "Hey, have you got a minute?" And my wife said yes. And they had just this little small talk, the reacquaintance of, how they'd met. And my daughter had been in a dance class there. And she goes, and she started to talk about something that she wanted to share. And she was starting a dance class, and she wanted to just let her know that this dance class was getting started, and if my daughter or her or somebody that she knew was interested. And she briefly went over. It's just a 10 or 15-minute call, and it was very interesting to see that, again, even though it was for more of a traditional business, she didn't have some famous dance instructor, whatever call. It was just here. She'd met my wife, and she just called and talked to her. So that's kind of what the approach that I tell people to take is, just to have a real conversation. So if there's an outline, there would literally probably be 6 things that I tell people that usually you will probably cover. And the information in those 6 things is, you usually talk to people about the company, the product, the timing, the compensation, the trends in our system. When you were first introduced to ACTIVZ, there's probably something that got you very excited about what you heard. There was something that, of those 6 things, typically, which when you heard, you're like, wow, this is really cool. And again, it's different from person to person. If you're talking to again, some people think, well, maybe it's a doctor. I'm going to talk to them about product. That's true. So that doctor might be somebody that runs a 60 to 70 hour work week. He's at the hospital. He's with his patients. He never sees his family. And he actually might be interested in the business side of things. So don't try and necessarily pick and choose that, oh, this guy is going to be this. Now, unless you've already had conversation with them and you already have you know, this person, you usually talk to them about product, they're very health oriented. Well, then that might be the thing that you focus in on a little bit more. But when I go back to the first time that I really started to have success, I used to have a big window washing business, and one of my clients was a very successful individual in network marketing. And as we got started, and this goes back probably about almost 15 plus years ago that I talked to this person about this. I asked him, what do I say? And the best way, and it made my life so much easier, because it took all of those 6 things and broke it down very, very simply. He said, Eric, he goes, you need to tell your story and the company's story and how they can make money. And really, it takes those 6 things and even breaks it down even simpler. So that's what I'd like to focus here on, is like, well, what is your story? Again, when you were first introduced to what we're with here at ACTIVZ, that's your story. And you talk to them about what you were excited, passionate about, what really got you motivated. And usually that is something that triggered your why. And so just, hey, when I heard about this, I got a phone call here the other day, and I had somebody bring up something to me. And whatever it is that you are going to then talk to them about, it will usually be, again, the more emphasis on the company, the product, the trends, compensation, the system. So when you're talking about the company, what do you say? What do you want to cover is learn a little history about the company. How long has the company been around? ACTIVZ has been around almost 3 years now. We launched down in Mexico. And maybe, you know, who the CEO, some of the key players at the corporate level are. We got David Brown. David Brown has been in the industry for about 10 years, but he's been in the health and wellness industry for about 25 years. Ryan Thompson has been in the industry for 30 years. He speaks Spanish. He's a brilliant individual. He helps write compensation plans. He's written our compensation plan here. So you want to learn a little bit about the history of the company, and you can go to the website and learn about that. We have a website that is being created right now that'll be hopefully ready within the next couple of days, where, again, like Paige has talked about in these morning trainings, that this information is available too. So again, learn a little bit of history about the company. The next is the product. A lot of times people think that they need to become an expert in all things in the product and the science and everything. No, just talk about what got you excited. For me, when I first took Link, that within 10 to 12 hours of taking Link, it had an impact on me. And in the impact that it had is with how it balances the dopamine and the serotonin and that part of my body. And literally, boy, it was like waking me up. It's almost like taking a shot of 5-hour energy drink. It was an incredible product. Genomics. You know, I've learned about, and I know Dr. McCord, and I'm familiar with his science and his research, but I don't need to go into all of the details and become or scientists and researchers. Guys, I talk to them on the level that I know the products. Does that mean that you just are very shallow about it? No, what you want to do is you want to gain some information. You listen to Dr. Martin and Dr. McCord or Dr. Maroon. Listen to those presentations and the information, and you put that information into you. And the more that you put into you, then when you're talking to somebody, it comes out a lot easier. So you do have a responsibility as a distributor. If you want to become a leader, you have a responsibility to gain some information. And so that if somebody does ask you a question, well, you can either give them, you know, some information or be able to point them to a video. For me, again, where I'm basically high school educated, but I do know how to share the information. It's like people ask me a question about a product. I said, you know what, I've got a really cool video that I'm going to send you that can give you detailed information on that. And I've become an expert on sharing the videos with people. And so that's how I approach the product. But I also gained enough information that I can talk to somebody and sound a little bit intelligent, given, some of what the main ingredient is in the product, or maybe what it does for you. Where Optimin is a natural anti-inflammatory, genomics is a NRF2 activator. Link is based on butyric acid. So I know just a basic information. So then you go to the compensation. Again, you tell them about the company, the products, and how they get paid. Okay, again, these are covering the core things, so you can literally within a few minutes talk to them. The compensation plan, we've got 9 different bonuses. When you're doing either a presentation with maybe on a whiteboard in front of a large group of people, or whether you're just having that quick conversation, you don't need to share all 9 compensation bonuses. Usually what I'm going to do is I'm going to, tell them, look, to get involved in the company, it's they can come in at various packages. And again, we've got various things. Right now, I focus a lot with the immunity pack that you can get involved with. There's the family pack. But again, just a quick, what the pricing point of what those are, and how to make money. We have, like I said, oh man, we got this company pays 9 different bonuses. And if you just build out a simple 3x4 matrix with auto ships, running about $240 or right through there, a couple $100 each one of those individuals, that's going to pay you an extra $2,000 a month. Guys, right there, that starts to grasp people. Guys, people in this company, there's people down in Mexico and here in the US that are already making $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10+ $1,000 a month. And so you're just going to touch briefly on there, and you're going to get people's attention. Again, if you're showing a presentation, you might just talk about the fast start bonuses and a basic overview of the unilevel bonus. And again, if you try and start going into depth on how they all work, you're going to start losing and confusing people. They're going to be more excited and hear about what you're saying. So again, you're going to talk about that. Timing is the other thing I spend, actually I focus a lot on, that they get to be first. That's tough timing. Okay, if you can be first in a network marketing company, that's where your business can grow very quickly and how you can make a significant amount of income. So again, just quickly touch on timing like that. The trends, well, right now, a lot of people are focused in on what we can do to benefit our immune system, or we can benefit a lot of people are out of work and they're looking for ways to make money. So you're familiar with the trends. Our system is very, very simple. We have videos that you can go to. We will have conferences and different things like that. So we tell people that there's ways that they can learn about it, that once they sign up, they're not all by themselves. So again, that's just a quick overview on what you share. That's the presentation. Again, just talk with people. If you will have just a quick outline in your head of some of those things and what, again, that you're passionate about. Again, welcome to ACTIVZ, and that's another 10-minute training.